Hi everyone, and welcome back to Beverly Stunning Creations. Today I present to you 3 simple, inexpensive, and fun fall DIYs. Each craft cost me $5 or less in Dollar Tree items to make. In the first DIY, you'll learn how to make this illuminating pumpkin wall decor. Next, you'll learn how to make this gorgeous fall-inspired key holder. I'm so in love with the color of the leaves, and it was really relaxing to paint them. In the third and final DIY, I'll show you how to make this fall-inspired wall clock. This is where Farmhouse meets a little bling. Also, if you're new to my channel, I would like to invite you to take a look around, and if you like what you see, then please subscribe. Okay everyone, let's get started. First thing you'll need for this project is one of these Dollar Tree pumpkin cutouts. And I'm simply going to use a pencil and draw some lines to make it look more like a pumpkin. Next, I made my pumpkin look three-dimensional by going over the lines with some hot glue. Please keep in mind that this step is optional. You can design your pumpkin however you like. And this is what it looks like after the glue dries. I'm not happy with this one, so I'm just going to simply pull that off and redo it. I decided to spray paint my pumpkin gold. Here I have a lighter tone gold and a darker tone gold. I'm going to go with the light gold. Off camera, I hot glued a squiggly line below the stem to separate the stem from the pumpkin. The gold paint has completely dried on my pumpkin. Next, I applied a top coat of paint that I mixed together. I took some red acrylic paint and mixed it with some gold metallic paint, and that gave it a burnt orange metallic look. After I was done painting the pumpkin orange, I dry brushed a little bit of the gold metallic paint on top. Remember guys, this is totally optional. And this is what my pumpkin looks like so far. So I have a little bit of gold coming through from the back and a very thin layer on the top. Next, I'm going to use this flower bling from TotallyDazzled.com to make my pumpkin more festive and fun. Cutting part of the roll into individual flowers, I'll burn off the threads and then glue a design onto my pumpkin. My design is a very simple design. I'll start out by adding a few flowers, and as I go on, I add more and more and they'll get closer and closer together. Next, I'll hot glue the flowers to the pumpkin, starting out with the stem. To finish the look, I highlighted the lines on the pumpkin with some gold metallic paint. And here is the finished look. It's really cute and simple. Remember, you can design your pumpkin however you like. Next up, I have these Dollar Tree string lights in the color orange. I'm going to open the package, unravel them, and then hot glue them to the back of the pumpkin. This is going to take some time because of the hot glue, so I'll do that off camera, come back and let you see what it looks like. I put 2 AA batteries inside the case, so let's light it up and see what it looks like. Okay, so that's perfect. Let's move on to the next step. Now I'm going to be hanging my pumpkin on the wall, and the light will reflect off the wall from behind the pumpkin. Because I'm going to attach the battery pack on the back of the pumpkin, I'll need to make some spacers. So I'm going to use some of these Dollar Tree tower blocks. Now the tower blocks need to be the same height as the battery pack or higher. but unfortunately they came up a little short. I added height to the blocks by gluing some of the flower bling underneath them. Off camera, I continue to add my blocks onto the back of my pumpkin. I glued the fourth block right above the battery case and then glued a hook onto that block. I used some of the PowerTack glue along with hot glue and then put some tape on top until both glues set up. I removed the tape and then made sure that my hook had a strong hold. I then turned on the lights, flipped it over on the table to give you an idea of what it'll look like on the wall. For my second project, I'll be using 3 of these maple leaf cutouts from Dollar Tree, along with one of these wooden plaques from Dollar Tree as well. First thing I'll do is draw some lines on my leaves, just like this one, and then apply hot glue over those lines just like I did the pumpkin. I'm done adding the veins to all 3 leaves. Next, I'll hot glue my leaves onto this wooden plaque. I'm going to glue a leaf on each end and then one in the center. I'm applying a generous amount of hot glue to make sure that my leaves stay in place. This is what it looks like after the leaves are glued on. Now I'll reinforce it by adding more hot glue to the back of it. Moving right along, next we'll take some of these adhesive hooks and attach one to each leaf. There was no need to add any additional glue because the adhesive on the back is really strong. Now that the hooks are attached, I'll take this outside and spray paint it gold. Again, I'll be using this metallic bright gold. At the last minute, I decided to add more veins to the middle leaf before I took it outside to paint it. Again, I'm mixing the red and the gold acrylic paint together to create the burnt orange that I used on the pumpkin. I'm going to use this color on the left leaf. I'm going to paint the edge of the leaf and then brush the paint inward. I'll paint this leaf on camera, do the other 2 off camera, come back and move on. Again, paint your leaves exactly the way that you want to. My favorite thing about this project was painting the leaves. I find it to be really relaxing. So take your time, don't rush it, enjoy the process. As mentioned earlier, I'll finish painting this off camera. After I finished painting the leaves, I glued the hook onto the wood using the PowerTack and hot glue. I then taped it down until the glue set up. After the glue set up, I hung it on the wall and I noticed that it tilted. So I'm going to level it out by using 4 of the little bling flowers that we used in the previous DIY. I'll hot glue them across the bottom of the plaque and then it'll be good to go. And here's my finished fall inspired key holder. For this project, you'll need one of these decorative signs from Dollar Tree. First, remove the rope, flip the sign over, and then find the center of it. Now drill a hole in the center to accommodate the clock. You can also make a clock with one of the Dollar Tree plastic platters. Just use some type of heating tool to melt a hole in the center, and then follow the steps to this DIY. Since this was my first time making a clock, I didn't know what size drill bit to use, so I had to come back in with a larger drill bit to accommodate the clock. This is the clock that I'll be using. I bought it from Michael's, and of course I used my 40% off coupon, so it cost me less than $4. The clock is really easy to assemble, and it comes with instructions. Like I mentioned earlier, the drill bit that I used wasn't big enough, so I had to come back in with a larger drill bit. I don't know the name of the piece that goes through the hole, but whatever it's called, it fits perfect now. The sign was actually too thin for my taste, so I traced it onto some foam board, cut it out, and then glued both pieces together. Since both pieces were light, I used some of the Dollar Tree FIXALL to glue them together. I made sure that both pieces were lined up properly, then laid it on the table and applied some pressure. After my sign dried, I inserted the clock and found that the sign was too thick. So I traced the back of the clock and then cut it out from the foam board. Now the clock fits perfect. Next, I'll decorate my clock with some of this gold bling from TotallyDazzled.com. I'll have a link to her website in the description below. I measured and then cut 4 strips of bling with 2 rows on each strip. I then hot glued the strips around the outside of my clock. I'll glue the remaining strips on my clock off camera. All 4 pieces has been glued on. Now I'll decorate the clock with more bling. I have 2 holes at the top of my sign, and the bling will cover those up perfectly. I measured and cut 4 more strips of bling, and there's 3 rows of bling on each strip. I use hot glue to glue the bling in place, but feel free to use glue of your choice. Now all we need to do is add our hands and numbers to our clock. But before we do that, I want to add some black glitter to the hands. I brushed some Mod Podge on the hands, then sprinkled them with black glitter. I'll set both hands aside to dry, come back later and seal the glitter with Mod Podge. Finally, I have these numbers that I picked up from Dollar Tree. I'm going to paint them black and then cover them with glitter as well. I'll be using the numbers 12, 3, 6, and 9. I'm going to let this glitter dry and then seal it in with some Mod Podge. Next, I'm going to use some of the Dollar Tree FIXALL to glue my numbers in place. Now I'll put the hands on my clock and I'll be done. Okay everyone, this concludes my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Again, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe And don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you won't miss my very next upload, which will be in a couple of days. Alright guys, see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.